Good Friday morning. So, there are several verses that I can think of for today's lesson. I actually started with reading John chapter 4 because it was our soap lesson about Jesus saying, I must go to Samaria. And that was not the place that Jewish people went. But in studying that, I saw Sychar, Sychar. That used to be Shechem. And so when I looked in my study Bible, it took me back to Genesis 12. And so I started reading Genesis 12. And I noticed something about Abram. He was faithful and obedient to what the Lord told him to do when he said, hey, I want you to get up, get out of this land, get away from your kindred. He didn't give a destination. He just said, go. So Abraham is going. And then it says in verse 6 of chapter 12, and Abram passed through the land into the place of Shechem in the plain of Moriah. And the Canaanite was then in the land. Sometimes God may place you on a job, in school, in housing, your neighbors, somewhere where you're feeling the heat of the fire. And you're wondering, Lord, I've been obedient. Why is this happening to me? I wonder if Abram thought about that. The Lord has a plan. And I thought about the verse that says, man plans, but it is the Lord who orders our steps. And Romans 8:28 that says that everything works for the good of those who loves the Lord loves, and who are called according to God's purpose. It doesn't mean we're not going to go anything, but it through anything, but it does mean that whatever happens, God is going to work it out, that there's some good going to come out of it. You may receive more perseverance, more peace, more faithfulness, and it may not even be about us. It may be somebody else. But not only was he in the land with the enemy, the Canaanites was in the land that the Lord has promised that's going to be overflowing with milk and honey, and I'm going to make you a blessing, and all of these promises. But verse 6 ends in saying, hey, but the enemy was there. So we have to be prepared to trust the Lord. Even it can be in your own family. You're like, Lord, I thought I was doing what you told me to do. Why are you punishing me? It's not punishment. He's got a plan, just like gold. In order to melt the dross, the dirt and junk off of it, it has to go through extreme heat. Abram was going through extreme heat, and we'll go through, or just finished going through some extreme heat. And so not only were the Canaanites, the enemy there, but then a famine came. And I can just imagine me being Abram in my divine imagination, like, Lord, what else? Come on now. You told me to go. I'm going. I went. But you sent me to the enemy. And now I don't even have enough food. But Abram kept following the Lord. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. Did he do like we do and start depending on self and thinking, oh, I'm going to have to save myself? And forget who the Lord is and that he is sovereign? Yeah, he did. But the Lord counted him as righteous because he believed in faith and he stepped out, not knowing where he was going to end up. And that's our lesson today from Genesis chapter 12, verses 6 and 10. The enemy came, the famine came, but Abram was still faithful. You may be in heat right now. Stay faithful. Keep trusting the Lord, talking to him, listening to him, studying his word. I don't know how I ever made it without it. This gives me peace. This keeps me on the right path. Every day in life, I'm in the Lord's classroom and I'm learning. And I know I told you this before. Sometimes I have to have repeat lessons. Do you? Genesis chapter 12, verses 6 and 10. Even when the Lord sends you in the enemy land, even if a famine comes, continue to trust. I love you. God loves us. He so wants us to love one another. And I would say I would see you Monday, but I'm going to be out a week. There may be some impromptu videos, but not Monday through Friday like usually. God willing, I'll see you the next Monday for our regular schedule. Be blessed. Bye.